Alright, so we're headed to go see what's going on with the truck today. Dad's already out here looking over the electrical side. We're going to see exactly if we can diagnose our problem today. So this is our main concern here that we've got, is all this in here, because I actually lost this cover when we did the fan. I don't know where it wound up. Me and Michael must have put it somewhere whenever we did that, and it may have gotten tossed. I have no clue where it is. So we're currently getting the battery out, which is just looking like it's done for, which is fine because there's a $45 battery. That needs to go to Walmart and get another one, and we'll be fine and dandy. So we're mainly going to be looking at this side of things and trying to get this figured out first, see if maybe our electrical problems are coming from here. As far as like the main wiring harness goes, everything looks fine. You might be able to see there's a little bit of some white marks here on these harnesses, but they don't look damaged, so that's a good thing. The main harness is all good. We've already checked that over. Today we're just kind of checking on the fuse side of things, making sure that's fine and dandy before we start going into everything else that could be wrong. Because either way, it looks like we do have some corrosion or possibly burn damage here in the ignition coil side, but that I'm pretty sure probably does have to replace regardless, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't mind replacing that. Who knows, maybe this will be as easy as cleaning up some wiring, cleaning up some grounds, and then, you know, going at it and seeing what it does. But definitely got a lot of like corrosion to clean up. I don't remember if I actually covered it when we got it home, but the CO2 from the fire extinguisher put a lot of like little bits of corrosion on a lot of the bare metal parts. So like this, I believe this is the IAC right here. We have a thermostat housing, as well as this segment of the block has also got some corrosion. That windshield motor's got some corrosion on it as well, because that's like right in the path where near where the fire was. Some bolts and stuff have some minor corrosion. Thankfully it's just CO2, so it comes off, no problem. Might be a little stubborn, but the goal is to kind of get it off regardless. Our battery terminals look like they could use some cleaning for sure. Technically just a lot of cleanup we're gonna have to do with this thing, and but as far as we know, everything else works fine as it should. So that's kind of our main focus, is kind of seeing what exactly happened over here, because this is what we think is wrong. So we could be wrong, but it looks like that could be what's wrong. Do you like my fluffy thing?
Mm-hmm.
So currently still fighting through some electrical bugs, trying to get it to get power first. But I did this the other day, but I'm totally redoing it because it came out horribly. I'm gonna have my mom make a special template for it. So I've been wanting a red button start on here forever, and so I thought I'd take it upon myself. I even recorded it. It just came out so bad, I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna get it just completely remade later. My mom can make a custom template for it and it'll look professional. It won't look like crap. But currently trying to see what direction we're looking at when it comes to the electrical side. Currently we have two gremlins we're fighting. It's having trouble getting power. Obviously the battery's dead, so we're trying to solve that first. And then on top of that, when it is getting power, the fuse boxes tends to be a little bit wonky. So we're checking in the fuses, we're checking all that stuff as well. We're mainly trying to get this thing to get power first, so we can try to diagnose the power side first, and then we'll figure out what's going on with the fuses. All the fuses so far have checked out fine, so no clue exactly what's going on with that. We may wind up trying to clean up a little bit of this at some point. I'm probably going to come out here during the week, this week, and do cleaning up on all the corroded stuff. So anything to the intake couplers, the IAC, all that stuff I pointed out earlier. I'm definitely thinking, out of precaution, I'm probably going to wind up swapping out the ignition coil again. Looks like ignition wires are fine. I'm not seeing any damage on any of them. Because of how they're routed, you can usually see exactly where they go. and obviously none of them really look tore up. I might replace the wires just to be precautious, but everything else looks fine. The wires look good. The coil, I can't tell. That's one thing I'm kind of curious about, and I don't know exactly what kind of condition the ignition coil's in. Pretty much everything so far that I was mainly worried about, which was the like the main wiring harness is ruled out, which is good. So as far as we know right now, it's something related here, not here. Granted, I noticed now the far passenger side boot could have been caught up in it. It looks a little black, so there's a chance that boot may have been burned a little bit. You can actually see about right where the fire was if we look behind this third pipe here in the header. I don't know exactly how well the lighting is, but that's about where it happened. So definitely you can tell that's where it burned up. But looks like so far we're mainly just fighting here, not anywhere here.
Trying to figure out if I plugged that fuse in the wrong spot.
So a little bit of an update. We do have power to the fuse block now, which is good news. But the interior side still has no power, so we're currently trying to figure out the fuse diagram and everything like that. I bought a Haynes manual, so we're finally getting some use out of that. What did I buy it for? I think it was when the coolant line bust. I think that's when I got it. And so now we're checking over that side of things to see if we can find where all these fuses go, because, you know, Ford shipped them without all the fuses being able to plug in anywhere. So we're checking this first. The reason we're checking this first is to try to see if there's any dead fuses or relays that we can replace to try to get some power here. So hopefully it'll be able to start, and then we can probably start weeding out all the other problems with why it's running like crap right now. Which is kind of our main focus on the electrical bug. That's literally what's stopping this thing from running. I actually didn't include any of the footage of it running. If you guys wanted to see the actual footage of it idling like garbage and running like crap, personal Instagram page, or not personal Instagram, but the Instagram page, I posted it there. So yeah, so we have power here, which is good news. So it doesn't look like the fuse box is damaged too much, if at all. Crossing our fingers on that. We don't know for sure just yet. We're kind of looking that over, but working towards getting, you know, all this checked out here. And so yeah, just thought I'd update. We have power to the fuse block, which is good news, but we don't know on the interior side if that's done yet. We're kind of trying to find the wiring diagram for the fan, because oddly enough, one of the wires is not plugged in. I can't really sure right now, because this is actually the controller for that fan, and it's kind of all out in the open. Here's this thing right here actually controls this and the halos. So yeah, we kind of got that unplugged. As far as the fan itself goes, we're still trying to figure out that last wire goes, because I don't remember. I might have to go back and look, because I'm pretty sure we showed the diagram off in the video multiple times. If not, I'll call Michael and see if he remembers, because I can't find the diagram online. But I'm trying to look in here and see if I find any damage here. The fuse block wiring looks fine underneath. Like I said, if you guys look somewhere deep in this dark recess right here, you might be able to see the actual fire damage. Sandpaper trying to escape. There's that. Come back here. But yeah, that's kind of what we're working through now. We've got kind of an idea on what we're looking at. Now we're just trying to, you know, get constant power to this thing, and then probably replace the battery. I think I'm gonna add that to my list of things I have to replace. Like I said, thankfully Walmart batteries are good and they're cheap, so that's kind of fun. I'm not gonna put any sort of like those zero gravity batteries in here, because those are not really good for daily drivers. And this thing is still gonna be, at the end of the day, a daily driver, so I need to put a daily driver battery in it. But yeah, so that's good news. At least we are still getting power to that fuse block, because those aren't cheap to replace. So if that's done for, I'm gonna be kind of upset, but it looks like that may not be the case, and it might be fine. So keep you guys updated. If we catch anything new, I'll cover it for you guys and let you guys know. So I didn't catch it, but we got power to the truck now. We started it and everything. Looks like our power is constant. I don't know if he's going to start it again.
probably got a little gas heavy or something.
Huh.
It's because I played with the ignition coil.
Sounded like it was running better once you got it up in the RPMs. It stopped running like crap.
I was messing with the coil block up here.
Okay. What'd you do?
Unplugged them and I replugged them back in.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out if maybe one of them got hot. Maybe I messed one of them up.
Sounded good for the 5 seconds it was able to hold itself.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of smoke. I'll have to show you the video. It was a lot of like black coming out the back of it. I wonder if it maybe got flooded. Like not by you just now, but
But you noticed it was reading that it was running 20 miles an hour parked?
yeah.
That's transmission stuff.
Okay, so something's definitely down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like a speed sensor may have been cooked.
Mm-hmm. So we definitely need, I would probably get another coil pack because
Sir, there's some damage.
Yeah.
Probably just be smart just to do regardless.
It looks wet, but it's not. It's weird.
Huh. Okay. Do they have like any sort of acid or anything in them? Like a battery?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so battery ignition coil.
Does it not look wet to you?
What are you looking at?
Look right where the yellow comes into the block.
A little bit.
Like the next one back does it too. Okay.
Maybe that's like the CO2 from the fire extinguisher?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I'll try to wipe it off.
how did all the wiring look when you were looking at it with the mirror?
I couldn't see nothing. The sun's in my face.
Okay. So battery, ignition coil. Should I do wires?
I'd probably go ahead and do plugs, wires.
Okay, so we're doing the whole shebang.
Basically a spark plug tune-up.
Okay. Probably just in case they're fouled out from how it's running. Okay. Because I didn't know what you want to do about the plugs. I knew the wires and the coil would probably be smart replacement.
If I gotta unplug the wires, you might as well change the plugs.
Okay, and go through all that torture again like we did last time? Okay, so I'll write all that down and I'll try to order a few of it this week. We've got our list going of things we're going to replace. We haven't gotten a good look at the wiring yet, and that's our main concern, but we did, like he pointed out, for some reason, I don't know if you guys could see very well with the video, but because I was kind of standing far away, the speedometer is reading 20 miles an hour, even though, as you guys saw, it's sitting here. So my theory is we might be looking at a transmission speed sensor as well, but we won't really dive into that headache until we've got it down to that part. Yeah, so we'll deal with that when we get there, but it looks like that speed sensor is done for as well, which, as he said, is probably in the transmission, so it should be. So we should be fine on that front, but it sure did sound good for that little bit. Like, the reason I worry if it's flooded or not is once you started revving it up a few times, that first couple blips was a lot of black smoke, a lot of smoke in general. Yeah, and then it stopped. Like, it just stopped blowing smoke out the back, so I don't know from where, because obviously I think the white smoke's probably condensation because it's been sitting for so long. The black smoke's probably fuel because it's probably running very rich right now. So we're on the right track, I think. This may not be as bad as we thought. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I'm probably speaking too soon. But this may not be as bad as we thought. So he's going under there now to kind of get a look at the transmission side. I really hope you don't get hit in the face with transmission fluid. It's probably hot. If you can get under there. Because she's low. Oh, he is fitting under there. Right. foolishness. You found any crispy goodness down there?
No, but I can see where it had dripped and landed on the exhaust.
So is the header cracked?
I don't think so. I can just see where the transmission pan. There's like a leak came off of it and it landed on the exhaust.
Oh, so it wasn't even a line. Huh.
It coated this O2 sensor right here too.
That could be a problem, right? If it's not reading the AFRs right. Huh. Oh. Nasty.
That's what's on top of the O2 sensor.
Okay, so definitely probably clean that.
Well, it's gonna need a lot of cleaning.
Is it pretty grimy under there?
Yeah.
Wish we had somewhere we could say that had a wash bay and they could just blast underneath it. Granted, Bees did that whenever they had it there to do the exhaust. They cleaned the underside of it for me. But obviously, I don't think they do it for free. And getting it there would be a challenge. Okay, so do you think there's a possibility the internals of the trans could be salvageable? Or do you think it's just probably best to just go ahead and drop the whole thing?
I can't repair it, so.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's probably best to just go ahead and replace it. For now, I think I'm going to cut this clip and I'll come back to either any sort of updates we find or to close this video out later. Alright, so that wraps everything up for today. We got kind of on the right track today. I think we got a lot of progress made, really. Now we're going to be looking into what our problems are. We've figured out exactly what we're looking at. We still have been unable to find any evidence of wire damage at all, which is great. Truck has power, complete constant power at that. It was kind of spotty. I guess we just had to let it sit for long enough to get build voltage up in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the parts we need ordered this week, the coil, the plugs, the battery, and all that stuff ordered. So we'll be back up and running here soon. And we should be good to go on this one, I think. I think we are probably going to be just fine. And I'm excited for that because, it looks like getting it running again is going to be a very simple task versus what I feared being, this giant hassle. So we're not completely out of the woods yet on this. Obviously, we still haven't been able to completely investigate any sort of wiring damage. We possibly have even found the transmission problem and that the pan may have actually failed. So I don't know if cheap RCV was used when the transmission was supposed to put back together. They used a cheap gasket. I don't know. We weren't the ones who built that transmission, so we don't know exactly what went into that transmission as well. But we're going to kind of look into our options and see what exactly we can do here. Obviously, replacing the transmission is probably the one thing we are going to, but it's pretty certain. But we're going to look into wiring and see how that's all going. The transmission speed sensor is probably done for. And we'll look into all of that as well. As far as everything else goes, I think that's everything I can cover for now. So I'm going to order all that this week. Hopefully next week we'll have another episode of this up and we can see exactly what we're looking at in terms of getting it running, because I think the sooner we do all this stuff and get it tuned up and check for any sort of flooding or anything like that, the sooner we'll have it up and running right, and the sooner we can start on the transmission, and the sooner we can get it back to being driving and doing its thing again. But for now, guys, I think that wraps up everything here. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.